Today in school, I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in physics, I learned that I'm a loser.
Today in school, I learned that I'm ugly and useless. And in gym, I learned that I'm pathetic and a joke. In history, I learned that I'm trash.
Today in school, I learned that I have no friends. In English, I learned that I make people sick. And at lunch, I learned that I sit on my own because I smell. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me.
In biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid. And in math, I learned that I'm trash.
The only thing I didn't learn in school today...
The only thing I didn't learn today...
The only thing I didn't learn...
is why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
The path to happiness is not the easy one, but taking drugs will not make it easier. Many people got lost and end up losing their life to drugs. If you or anyone that you know is within that path, don't be afraid to seek for help. Visit www.adk.gov.my for information related to drug abuse. So, know your path. This message is brought to you by the National Anti-Drugs Agency.
In our world, in our country, and in our cities, on our streets, in the alleys behind our homes, there are orphans, foster and homeless children who are the victims of child abuse and neglect. Hello, I'm Malcolm McDowell. Now, 80% of these children will end up homeless, and 60% will end up in prison without our help. They're good kids with bad parents, or no parents at all. They feel helpless, unloved, and full of despair. Oftentimes thrust into a world where dangerous influences lurk to prey upon their innocence. Safety Harbor Kids has developed a solution to help these children.
Safety Harbor Kids helped me get a job.
Safety Harbor Kids let me know someone cares.
Safety Harbor Kids helped me go to college.
Help change a child's life forever by supporting safetyharborkids.org today.
Welcome back to Straight No Chaser, where we are talking about community policing. Yes, we have our guest, Mr. Phil Lee, and before the break, he was getting into something, so I'm just going to let him keep on flowing. So, Mr. Lee, go ahead, take it away.
So we were talking about the community office that we established. My intent there was to showcase the relationship. I realized it was difficult to get out and reach and talk to everybody. I needed people to see it. You know, it's always often said, seeing is believing. And we happened to have a commander of that district station who was very community-oriented. That made it a lot easier to do. There was pushback from some of the officers, not so much in our district, but in other police districts.
Sure.
It baffled me because I could not understand, how could you not like this? What did you not like about this? Well, I understood right away. Police accountability. And here is kind of the problem we have today. Too many police officers, when they pin on that badge and holster that weapon, they sometimes become too judgmental and do not believe they should be judged. You had other officers who did not want to be a part of it, because they didn't want to have to answer to, or in some cases even communicate with the public. Let me tell you what that led me to believe right away.
What was that?
I understood that. Sure. And when you have a 14-year-old who's walking to school and it's 12 degrees outside, and he walks past a car and sees it running, he gets in the car and drives off now. You should not leave your car running and unattended. That is common sense.
Sure.
It's common sense. So when we launched the campaign of lock it and park it, lock your car, take your keys, we went into the community, and again, community members, you know this, Chief, went into the community with the officers at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning.
Sure.
And when the officers knocked on the doors to tell these homeowners, you're actually in violation of the law by letting your car run it, but I don't want to give you a ticket, I want to give you a warning. When people opened their door and saw the police officer standing there with a community member, that went a long way.
Sure.
Because that's the community member also saying, without it being said, this is our community, and you doing this, you are inviting the criminal element to come here and look for cars.
Sure.
So again, policing your own neighborhood. I used to tell people, if your neighbor's car is running, knock on their door. Let them know this is not something you should do. Don't force the police to have to give you a ticket for doing something you know you should not do. When we talk about building community police relationships, I think the bottom line to it is, again, people need to police themselves. And then you should be able to depend on the police to enforce the law. Example, again, if you've told your neighbor twice, please don't leave your car running, and that neighbor slams the door in your face, then yes, you should pick up the phone and call your community police officer and let them know, I need you to enforce the law. Now, how this goes to where we need it to be is that officer knows this resident tried to get their neighbor to do the right thing.
Sure.
And so when that officer does respond, because he's grown accustomed to working with residents, he'll say to the neighbor who he's writing the ticket for, I shouldn't have had to come out here.
Right.
All you had to do was be neighborly. But you see, you have patrol officers buying into the pride in communities. When we talk truancy might, Chief, I don't have to tell you, because that was the time pretty much you came on board.